Good morning, everybody. It's Josh here with Poor Boys. Just wanted to put you together another what sold over the weekend video. That way you can see everything I've sold here in my business, give you some ideas what you can sell in yours, and then we can just see what's selling in general. So it should be a pretty good, pretty quick show here. As you can see, I did get my shelf put up this week. I was pretty proud of it. This is the Cobalt 4-tier. It's 77 inches wide. It's 72 inches tall. I'm using the 10-inch wide boxes, so it actually fits 7 of them pretty snugly. If I fit the 8-inch boxes like most people use, I could probably get another one on these shelves. They cost about $300 at Lowe's. If you are military, you do get 10% off. Pretty good little shelf. It's the best one I could find for what I was trying to accomplish. Now, another thing I wanted to kind of show you guys real quick is, I know there's been a lot of controversy out there and stuff over bubble wrap. So I got this thing of bubble wrap here. I don't know if you can see how big it is. Almost need to measure it, but it's a pretty big size roll. The estate sales lady that I've been working with, she orders that in a 4-pack for $80. So 4 of those rolls for $80. I was talking to her, I needed some. She sold me a roll for $20. Do you guys think that's a good deal comparatively? Compared to what I see at Walmart and Home Depot and stuff, this seems like a great deal, but I want to kind of get your guys' thoughts on it, what you thought. And if you guys want, I can get with her and see kind of what the connect is, if any of you guys are interested in ordering some of this for yourself or something. Before we jump into the show and start going through everything that's sold, I wanted to remind everybody, let everybody know today is September 11th, Monday. If you haven't already, like everybody, just take a moment of their time today. Be appreciative for what you have, be thankful for what you have, and remember all the innocent people and first responders whose lives were lost on September 11th. It's one of the main factors, I guess, in myself joining the military and stuff. So it's a pretty significant event. I wasn't directly affected or anything like that, but I think everyone was affected in some manner or another. So I keep moving the camera around and stuff, trying to figure out the best way to do this, but I'll try to go through that pretty quick. The first ones that sold here were these Johnston & Murphy's size 12 dress shoes. Pretty simple little cap toes with the leather holes and stuff through them. I forgot what it's called, the preparation. Let me see if I put it in there. No, I didn't, but there's a special word for that you can find out there. These Johnston & Murphy dress shoes are just pretty nice. Johnston & Murphy's a brand I'm familiar with, I like. So of course I have a consistency of picking it up when I see it, if it's a decent item or anything like that. Next up is this Fantasy Life 3DS game. I actually picked this up in a pallet sale. It was a fill-a-bag for $5 a couple months ago. You probably heard me talk about it. But anyways, I just grabbed this. It's a Nintendo 3DS game. It was in there, so I'm not going to pass it up. If nothing else, I could bundle it with a bunch of other 3DS games and sell it. So I'm never worried about selling it. And when you're getting it for $1 or less, just pick it up generally. You see here, I kind of pack everything in a little bit of a weird order today. So let me see if I can get to everything correctly here. So next one that I sold was these Nike shorts, just extra large, dry fit, moisture wicking shorts. I always use the activewear performance keywords and stuff when you're doing any kind of athletic wear. That's what's selling them these days right now. The next I have is this Beretta t-shirt. It's the Drake camo. This is actually new with tags, but it doesn't have the tags, so new without tags. But it actually has the collar stay and everything in there still. It's brand new. This shirt sold for $49.88, full price deal as soon as it's listed, pretty much. And this is a pretty nice thing to be on the lookout for. Beretta, which is a pistol manufacturer. That's why I picked it up. But their clothing items actually do sell for decent money. So keep your eye on that. Next up is my Lucky Brand Henley tee. It's got a little floral pattern design on it there. It's got the waffle knit on it. This is the second time I've sold it. The first time I sold it, the person said she's an extra small, and she said this was too small for her. So I'm guessing it's shrunk a little bit in its age. So I listed as an extra small instead of a small this time, and we'll see how it works. And I kind of told people that it may have shrunk, you know, stuff. Let me see. Next, I have some kids' Keen shoes. These are just a little water sports shoes, pink. These actually sold for 14 bucks. They're kind of heavy. 14 bucks plus shipping. I'm not sure how I'll mail those yet. A lot of times I just would throw those in like a poly mailer. I'm not too worried about them getting damaged or anything like that. But they do weigh a little bit more, so it might be, we'll see. We'll see how priority looks. Next one is a Talbot's chambray, like shirt dress almost, dress. I'm sure some of the women will probably correct me pretty quick on that, but anything chambray I've been picking up, and that brings me to my next subject here real quick I'll talk to you about. So anything chambray I've been kind of picking up. This is a dark chambray, so it's not ideal, but chambray nonetheless. But I've been talking to you a lot about Whatnot and us trying to get on there. We were approved. We did the orientation. We've set everything up. We've scheduled our first show for Friday at 7 o'clock. My wife Kayla is actually going to host it. I'll be probably behind the scenes just trying to make sure everything runs good and the camera's working and everything like that. It's our first one, so we'll both be a little nervous. We went and grabbed 40 items from the estate sale that we've been working with, the company that does the estate sales, and we got them all set up and stuff. And when I picked those up, I mostly grabbed a lot of denim. So there's a lot of some Reba and some different stuff, but it's got a lot of it's got different designs and stuff. That's kind of why I picked it up. It's a little more cool and unique pieces than what you see regularly, I guess. Let me see. One of these was actually pretty cool. This is a vintage Juju. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with Juju, but it can bring decent money on eBay and stuff. We just grabbed a bunch of different stuff, and we're going to try to run it, see how it goes. We'll probably do like a $5 starts on everything just to try to sell some stuff. You really need to get a few hundreds of thousands of sales really to get any kind of attention on there. This is, what is the brand on this? I looked it up and everything. It's Shane Lee Inc., made in the USA. I couldn't find any with this on there, so I'm unsure if somebody turned this into a flamingo jacket or if it was made a flamingo jacket. Has anybody ever seen anything like that? Pretty cool. Another Southwest Canyon. Anyways, Friday, we are gonna run that show. And if any of you are free and want to check it out, I'd be more than happy to have you there. At least we'd have a few people join us. Probably get some stuff for pretty cheap if you're looking for any women's vintage or anything like that. If you have Whatnot already, it's the Poor Boys. So THE Poor Boys. My wife says the, I say the. I'm not sure which one's right. Maybe y'all can tell me the or the. But if you don't have Whatnot already and you're interested in checking it out, down below I'll put a link to where you can actually sign up, and it'll automatically mark me as a favorite seller. So when you sign up, I'll just already be saved as a seller for you. So otherwise I wouldn't do it. They're going to send me probably a cajillion dollars if anybody signs up. So just be aware that I might make a cajillion dollars if you use my Whatnot link. All right, a cajillion. Let's see, next was this Chico maxi dress. It's a very like, I don't know how to, I almost want to describe it as a cinnamon roll. It's just a very thin little spiral circle designs throughout it. So it's kind of like a polka dot. Size 3, like I've been telling you guys, 2 and 3 seems to be the most popular in Chico's right now. For me anyways. But that dress sold pretty quick, $27.88. Sold another pair of loafers today. And this is the thing, I haven't sold any shoes in about probably 2 weeks, but I really haven't listed any shoes in about 2 weeks. I listed a pair of boots that I found over the weekend at a yard sale yesterday, and I immediately almost sold 2 pairs of shoes. It's kind of crazy. Next is these Merrell loafers. Anything Merrell I usually will pick up, especially if it's in good shape. These are just the simple little slip-on loafers. These sold for $39.79. Pretty quick too, within a month I'd say. This next shirt actually sold while I was listing. So I listed this shirt, and while I was listing the next shirt, this one sold. So I might have sold it too cheap. 15 bucks. It just has USA on the front, and then it has a peace symbol with the American flag on the back, and I'll show it to you. But it's a Comfort Colors large, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Comfort Colors is just like a cheaper brand. I don't know where they sell it at, but I see it everywhere when I'm thrifting and stuff, so I don't bother to pick them up unless they're usually a cool, unique print or something like that. The next one was actually Halloween section. It's a Blizzard gaming t-shirt. Sold for 15 bucks pretty quick. I think the next day or two I listed it. I like graphic t-shirts myself, so I lean towards picking them up if they're any kind of decent graphic. It's just because I like them. I like shipping them. It's easy, but it's not for everybody. But with the graphic tees, I've been stocking a box too. So anything vintage or the better stuff I get, I've been kind of stocking it away in a box, and I plan on building up some kind of whatnot show with nothing but, you know, crew necks and vintage t-shirts. Gives me something to do, look forward to, I guess. Next is just a classic Patagonia long sleeve. Now, here's another story for you, I guess. It's just a crew neck long sleeve Patagonia shirt. This sold for $17.37. I think it was like a 10% off offer somebody accepted, but listed within 2 or 3 days of me listing it. I bought this at a thrift store, and when I went into the thrift stores are getting really crafty now with all the different what do you call them, the different little tag colors. So they don't put tags on them anymore. Everybody's just putting just the little plastic piece in them, and some stores it's really even hard to find those little plastic pieces, but they put these plastic pieces in, and they'll say today orange is 75, or let's say purple is 75% off. But then when you go in through the racks, they have magenta, they have pink, they have, you know, plum, they have 7 different colors of purple. So it makes it really confusing. You get up to the counter and everything's full price, and you got 7 different colors of purple. Yeah, I don't know how they do them really, but anyways, I think I paid full price for that, $7 or $8, and after I was just getting it either way. I was going to see if it's going to sell, quick, because a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on Patagonia, and this is a pretty common Patagonia item, but it still sold in a couple days for 18 bucks, so I probably still made $5 or $6. I doubled my money probably, so I'm all right with that. Next up is American Eagle flare leg. It's super stretch. I'm not real sure on the flare leg if it's real popular right now or not, but I don't see a lot of them out. So if I do see them, I'll go ahead and pick them up. I usually try to keep my eyes open for stuff I don't see a lot of, because somebody who is looking for those items, if there's not a lot out there, then it should be pretty good. And that kind of that thought process plays a big part into my reselling in general, and the whole idea of getting into this and keeping going with this. Because everybody right now, resellers are growing, right? Everybody would agree that the reselling community is growing pretty fast and rapidly. So a lot of people are scared it's going to put resellers out of business. But the way I look at it is the more inventory that people are grabbing and stockpiling at their own homes and trying to sell, is less inventory that's out there in the world for people to be able to find and buy at their local Goodwills or thrift stores, yard sales, stuff like that. So when there's less inventory out there for them to buy, they're more driven to go online and find our stuff. So it's good and it's bad. That's just one avenue that you can kind of look at. Next up was just Timberland hoodie. I got a couple offers back and forth, and finally I just accepted it. It's 18 bucks. This is a pretty nice hoodie. One of the tassels was actually unfrayed, but other than that, it's a pretty clean little hoodie. Probably could have got considerably more money on it if I'd have wanted to hold out, but sometimes it's better just to take it and move on. I got so much stuff coming in right now that I'm trying to move it as fast as I can, and that's one of the things with Whatnot. The reason I chose Whatnot over trying to go Macari, Poshmark, anything like that. One is part of this YouTube series that we're doing now is I'm challenging myself to put myself out there more. That's one of the things that I've never did that has always held me back, and that's putting myself out there, getting on the camera, being social, stuff like that. Facebook, Instagram, none of that stuff's ever been my forte. So this is definitely out of my comfort zone in my area, and Whatnot will be the exact same thing. but I have the availability to take large amounts of stuff and move it rather quickly, which is good for me because I want to get into buying more and more. In order to be able to buy more and more, I got to be able to get rid of more and more. And now what makes the pros from the beginners is all the odd and end weird stuff that you're left with and stuck with from your pallet purchases, from your bulk buys, stuff like that. Because you're always going to get, you know, the 5 or 6 items that you see, that you pick out, that you know you can get and make most of your money back from. But all that other stuff, making money from that is what sets you apart from the rest. That's where all your profit and everything else is going to be driven. So just like all these crappy China clothes I got, I'm half tempted to just throw them all away, but the reseller in me wants to find a way to sell them and make some money back from them, because everything has a value. Even the boxes and bags you throw away have a value to somebody. It's just being able to find those somebodies and be able to keep it going. And a lot of that comes from other resellers and whatnot. Great again for resellers, because like I sold these Talbot pants here for 21 bucks, right? I could have went to the thrift store, bought these, came home, or yard sold them, brought them home, and I could have sold them on whatnot for say $7 or $8 to a reseller. They would have paid the same amount pretty much that they would have paid at their local thrift store, and then they could turn around and sell them just like I did for, you know, $21.75 or 22 bucks online and make their money as well. So I think it's kind of a full circle experience. You know, if I'm getting too much stuff that I can't list on eBay, I can hop on whatnot, go ahead and liquidate half of it, and then list the stuff I want to list. It keeps me from having a death pile and getting overwhelmed with stuff, which it is a lot more shipping, a lot more work, a lot more stuff involved in it, but it is what it is. So I must have passed this one up somewhere here. Let me go back and find this guy. I don't see it on here now. Uh-oh, I got a missing order. I don't see it at all. I don't know why I grabbed it. I'm pretty sure I sold this. It's a Sting t-shirt. I'm gonna look again, see if I can find it. For some reason it's not showing up in my orders right this second. Next was this women's St. Louis Cardinals jersey. T-shirt, a deep V-neck. Now, wherever you're at, more than likely there's a sports team local to you, a college local to you, and you're gonna have the ability to find those local teams and brands a lot more than others. So it would behoove you to spend the time and research what items from the different teams or colleges do well in your area. Like I'm close to Murray State University, which is a smaller school, but they have people all over the place. And I can find Murray State like winter jackets and windbreaker type stuff pretty easily and commonly. And there's not much on eBay for sale. So I've actually been picking it up and having a pretty decent time reselling it without too many issues or anything, because people in Florida that went to Murray State and stuff can't get it locally anywhere, so they go online and order it. So it works out. But anyways, look out for local teams and find what sells well for them. If like I had a local hockey team near me, I would try to grab everything I probably could. But especially like jerseys and stuff like that do really well. Sometimes they are seasonal with the sport and stuff, of course. Next is the Free People blouse. It's extra small, and I know I keep picking up extra small. I gotta stop myself from doing it sometimes. But if it's unique and cool, I'll still pick it up, because I feel like that's what's left laying around at a lot of your thrift shops. And there is a lot of people, a lot of small people out there, believe it or not. You know, it's not just all big people like us. There is small people, and they like clothes too. So remember that, and I just pick it up and try it either way. All right. So Friday, we're going to run that show at 7 our time, 7 Central, or no, 7, what is it, Pacific Standard Time, California time. We're going to run it at 7 o'clock their time, which will be 9 o'clock Central Time. And the reason we're going to do that is because we're trying to target the audience from here to there. Friday night, everybody gets paid on Friday. Hopefully there will be a lot of people on. I don't know, that's just where we're at right now. We may adjust it. But if you find it and bookmark the show, it'll alert you and let you know. So the Poor Boys at whatnot at Poor Boys. Let me see here. I still haven't unbagged half the crap I bought in that pallet. It's still sitting over here in a pile on the floor. I would show it to you, but I'm embarrassed. I'm lazy, I guess. But me and my wife have been ripping through and trying to get as much stuff listed. I went yard selling all day Friday or Thursday. We had a community-wide yard sale Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I went Thursday and hit every single one of the yard sales I could. We got a lot of cool stuff. I got some good, vintage men's clothing. I got a lot of women's clothing, some scrubs. One yard sale, I picked up like 15 pair of 511 tactical pants. Guy used to be a firefighter. I don't know, it worked out pretty good for me. Picked up some, cowgirl stuff, some cinch jeans, stuff like that. A couple pair of boots, a couple pair of shoes, nice button-ups. Nothing too crazy. We actually picked up a lot of glassware this time. Just trying to explore different avenues there, but we picked up some vintage stuff that was pretty cheap. The ladies like $10 a box type stuff. So we picked up a box of different stuff. It has some actual silver in it, some silverware, stuff like that. Let me see. Another thing is, before I get off here, I like to give you guys the bolos and stuff here. So I bought this hat probably about 2 weeks ago, and I set it over here on kind of my death pile hats. I try to list one or two every couple days, but I've been picking up any of them that look kind of cool. So especially if they have any kind of wraparound prints and stuff, and I'll probably end up getting rid of most of these on Whatnot, because I'd rather people buy 4 or 5 of them and maybe just set them in one box and ship them. But a lot of them I have been able to sell for 15 to 20 bucks. I buy the boxes at Walmart for, I think, 59, 60 cents. So I'm not too mad about that. But anyways, so this has been sitting over there on my death pile, and I was just staring at it, and I was like, that says John Deere on it, which I thought was a really cool hat anyway, because it's like the velvet on both sides. But I was like, that says John Deere on it. So I started looking around and stuff, and it don't have anything crazy, K products, but it does have the John Deere buckle on it. And it's fully embroidered. I looked around online, it looks like the last sold comp, which there's only one. Once again, it's not a real common hat. You're not gonna see a lot of them out there, but the one comp on it, I think, sold for 60 bucks or something. So it's just sitting there staring at me this whole time, and it's a $60 bill just hanging out. So make sure you guys are checking out hats, especially if they're any kind of unique, full graphic design, anything like that, orders. And with the hats, it's really the 90s embroidery and the 80s embroidery that are the big sellers if you're looking for the high dollar, high ticket items. I know this video is probably the worst one, and if you've made it all the way here, then you are a survivor, and I appreciate it very much. Give me some stuff to talk about, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you that left comments and feedback and stuff last week. So if you have anything, I do read everything, and I will make new content based on what you guys need to learn or what you want to learn and see what I'm doing. You just gotta let me know. I appreciate it very much. I'll see you guys next week. Maybe Friday on Whatnot. Yeah.